Hey everyone. Okay, so this week we're editing our rough drafts. Okay. I'm gonna try to make this video kind of short, about 20 minutes. So I have two examples definitely that I'm gonna show you. I might do a third video, I'm sorry, a third essay in a different lecture where I discuss a bad example, but mostly the two people who sent me theirs pretty good. Okay. So there's not a whole lot of work that needs to be done to them, but we're still going to look at them and talk about ways to improve them. Okay. So let me share my screen here. There it is. Okay. Here we go. This is by Don Henley. Yes, the Don Henley. The Don Henley, the drummer and singer of the Eagles, is in this class. Isn't that great? All right. So first off here, immediately noticing that for MLA, the proper way is all caps. Last name, all caps. Okay. Next off, I notice right away that look, see how this side and the left side is all straight down and it's all in line with the heading. Okay. Over here, though, it's like a jagged mountain range. All right. So what you want to do is you want to select all, and you want to go up here to where it says justify. This is also the same thing with Google. If you do Google Docs, they also have a justify one. Click it, and it brings it over here to the right-hand side. Now, the only problem, though, is the title gets moved. So you want to put the title back to center. Boom. So now we have on the right and on the left. Okay. Existentialism and freeing yourself of bad faith. That sounds wonderful and perfect. Okay. So for one, Being in Nothingness is the title of a book. And if you go back to that PowerPoint that I posted, titles of books are in italics. They're not in quotation marks. Now, concepts, ideas, and chapters are in quotation marks, okay? Now, periods. Periods go inside of quotation marks. So you want to delete that period, go over to the end of the sentence and put in the period, okay? The only time you always have a period. If you're ending the sentence with a quotation mark, you got to have a period inside of it, okay? All right. Now, here we have, this is all about bad faith. And there is no mentioning of, in the introduction here, this whole introduction is about bad faith and start bad faith, okay? It would be good to introduce the stories that are going to be discussed in your essay. Like, this is Story of an Hour, Hills Like White Elephants, and The Sea Change. All those stories need to be mentioned in the introduction. The introduction, we should know that, like, what you're going to be focusing on. So it's not just about bad faith, but it's also about those three stories. So those need to be worked in to your introduction. All right. All three stories that are going to be discussed, or if only one story, whatever stories you're discussing, should be name dropped in the introduction. Okay. Here again, we have this period. If you're ending a sentence with a quotation mark, period, you got to go inside. Okay. Okay. The true meaning is described by Chopin very clearly. All right. Now, look, this is a complete sentence. The true meaning is described by Chopin very clearly. And then we have a quote. Okay. This is a run on because really you have a period here and the sentence is complete. But then we have a quote here. And this person, Henley, knows that you can't have a quote by itself, which is why they did not have the period. But you can't have nothing there because it's a run-on sentence. Therefore, if you introduce a quote with a complete sentence, you don't want to use a verb, then you can use a colon one time. The whole essay can't be complete sentence, colon, and then a quote. The true meaning is described by Chopin very clearly. All right. Or you could say, true meaning is described by Chopin very clearly when she writes, comma, but she saw beyond the bitter moment, a long procession of years. Okay. And so you want to make sure that you are connecting, you are integrating the quotes either with a conjunction, a verb, or a colon. Oh, very good there. Okay. It was like white elephants. Okay. He describes it as fields of grain. Good, good, good. Okay, good. All right. Oh, sea change. Period. Delete. Okay. And then let's see. Do we have a quote here? All right, here we go. Here's a quote. And he even gains the courage to say out loud to the barman. Okay, now we need a comma. He says out loud to the barman, comma, I'm a different man, James. You see in me quite a different man. Okay, good. All right, and then we have discussion on the waiter. Again, being nothingness is italicized. So we want to make sure titles are written correctly. Italicized for books, in quotations for short stories. We want to make sure that we don't end a period. We don't end a sentence with a period on the outside of a quotation mark. Okay. All right, great. Let's see. 4 pages down here. 4 pages, 1,200 at least. It's over 1,000 words. Fantastic. Okay. We scroll down. Now I know this looks all janky and stuff. This is weird because of the. It's just because of the formatting. It's because we pushed justify. All right. So let's get this understood. Let's see here. We want to put this works cited work. No. Works cited. Okay. Now the indentation needs to be the first line of a citation should not be indented. Okay. But the second lines should. So like this is fine. But then Hemingway, these 2 lines should be indented. If you try to indent from this line, you hit tab, the whole thing goes over, backspace. That doesn't work out. So you go to the very last, the end of the previous sentence, the very end, and you hit the tab button. Hit it again. It's probably because of, there we go. What I did was I hit backspace. Go to the end, hit tab. There you go. And it pushes it. Okay. Same thing with here. I want this line to be indented. Therefore, I'm going to go up here. I'm going to scroll over to the very end of the sentence. I mean, of the end of this line. And I'm going to hit tab. And it pushes it. Now, this one needs to come over also. So I'm going to go here. And I'm going to hit tab. Okay. Now the works cited page is set up correctly. All right. Now, Don Henley, you buddy, whoever you really are, who sent me this paper about existentialism and freeing yourself of bad faith, you need to go in. I'm not sending you my edited copy of your work. You need to now go back into your original copy, make the edits, and submit it. Okay. Now, Don Henley doesn't have to do any adding of any additional words. It's all there. Okay. Now, of course, might want to go back through and read it to make sure that every line makes sense. I didn't do that. What I did initially with this is a editorial check where I just looked for grammar and formatting. Grammar, formatting. Okay. If everything was correct in terms of formatting, which it looks that way. Look, if I do select all, and I go to paragraph, Before says 0, after says 0, and line spacing says double. Perfect. It's exactly how it should look. Okay, good. Let's look at another example. This one is by Jasmine Sanders. Not true. We're gonna do the same thing. Already up here, I see Sanders is lowercase. All of it needs to be uppercase. Okay. I see that this is aligned only to the left, but not over here. So I'm gonna do select all. I'm gonna go over here to justify. So it says justify. Great. I'm gonna click on the title and recenter it. Good. All right, so self-determination and selfishness in the story of an hour. Okay, I'm gonna look. I'm just right now. I'm just breezing through, skimming them to see that the titles are correct. Okay, and then that we have proper citations. Okay. All right, Chopin. Okay, we have integrated quotes. Nice. Very good. Yeah, a lot of these are just too good. I think I'm gonna need to do another lecture on a on a bad example. I wanted to make sure that I did highlight the ones that were sent in since people did volunteer these up. Okay. But sometimes I'll get students who volunteer up train wrecks of essays, which are great. Okay, let's see here. I do see a well aware of. Okay. So this phrase right here. Oh, let's look at this whole sentence. Such is the way Louise and many other women saw their married life as a binding will of society that oppresses their own, which Chopin was well aware of. You don't need this of. That looks confusing where it's as if as was well aware of Robinson, and we don't end with prepositions like that. So let's just delete that. You can just say which was well aware. Okay, Burkhoff believed. All right, we have here cite sources, integrated quotes. Oh, here we go. This comma, monstrous joy, comma, quotation mark. Okay. Okay. Works cited page. That part happened just because of the formatting. Yes, indented correctly. Okay, great. 1180, page 5. All right, this is a great essay. Awesome. This person put a bunch of work in last week, which means don't got to do too much this week because other than the few things I marked there that I noted, great job. Okay. So those are the two examples that I'm posting here now, okay, for you. Even though those were really good, they still had a few errors. They still had some formatting errors. There was a few grammatical, mechanical errors, all right, and works cited page errors. So no one is error free ever, really. Okay. So, but if you looked at your paper compared to those, and you're like, wow, my paper is like awful compared to that one, send it to me today. I know today's Monday. Send it to me, and then I will make another video tomorrow or Wednesday of looking at a really bad paper and providing feedback as well. Okay. And if not, I might go to the Dropbox and find one that is poorly done and to try to edit it as well in front of y'all. Okay. Because we learn a lot from, like, you know, an essay that is currently at a C, those do well because there's enough there to where I don't feel like, you know, there's enough to edit, but then also there is, it's fixable to be able to move up to a B and stuff. All right, to an A. So I'll look for a somewhat good paper and try to edit that one live and send it to y'all also. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. And I didn't want to drag you down with too much information this week. Okay, because I think it had a lot of information overload, and we got plenty to work on for poetry and stuff. So be sure to email me if you have any questions. All right, bye-bye.